So let's talk Transformers Shattered Glass. And where are we right now? And is it still worth collecting? Well, if you didn't already know, Shattered Glass was a concept way back when there was still a convention called BotCon. It was a really cool way to re-release previous or older figures from different Transformers lines and sort of give us a glimpse of a mirror universe wherein the bad guys are the good guys are the bad guys. We have the tyrannical Autobots versus the heroic Decepticons. I thought it was a very interesting concept, sort of like Star Trek's mirror universe. And in some ways, it was a way to get the old figures back then, but at a very, very expensive prices, I might add. And to this day, a lot of the original Shattered Glass figures are just incredibly difficult to obtain, and they are being sold at ridiculous, bonkers prices on the secondary and tertiary market. Now, what we have here are the figures from the Generations line, the modern Shattered Glass figures that Hasbro and Takara Tomy have been releasing in the past few couple years. And so far, I think it's going well. I mean, I think it's honestly, I think it's still a good line. It seems at times to be a very esoteric type of mythology, because if you're not into the comic books and you're not really into this reverse universe, you're not really gonna get this. But if you're just looking at the toys at face value, the whole line has a lot of really, really cool and interesting figures, and sadly at the same time some unsatisfactory and subpar figures. So I think this is all that we have right now. The only one we're really missing for 2023, I think, is Shattered Glass Grimlock, unless there's another Decepticon that I'm not aware of that they're planning to re-release. I hope they have something in the pipeline, because we're only halfway through 2023, and we've got Rodimus, we've got Grimlock coming in, and I do hope to get more heroic Decepticons. Is it a good line per se? To be honest, I think it's okay. It's not super great, but you get a lot of very, very good figures. You got Delta Magnus or Ultra Magnus. You've got that Skyfire or Jetfire. Obviously Optimus Prime. You got Ratchet. You got Rodimus. And at the same time, you get some of the non-satisfactory figures like Megatron. You get Blur. You get Flame War and Fireglide. Yeah, so in a sense, it seems like it's a hit or miss a line. But the way things have been going, I thought the colors are great. I thought the designs are great. I thought this line is trying to be very, very true to the original material. And at the same time, they're trying to give us molds that have been very successful in the past, and at the same time some not so successful molds that they're just trying to make a buck off. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're just looking at it from a toy perspective without the mythology, I think it's not bad. I think it's worth dipping into. If you're into the mythology, then, and you're really into this kind of universe, reverse mirror universe, then obviously the answer is going to be yes. You've got to pick these up. And in the same vein, I would say that you've got to pick up everybody. That's what I'm actually trying to do now. Even if there are a lot of several figures that are not 100% for me, it defies and violates my 100% rule. I have to pick it up, because this whole universe, I believe, is self-contained, and you've got to get every single one of them for the series, for the collection to actually work. Now, some might argue, it's best to just cherry pick here and there, but then you're going to be missing some troops here and there. If you cherry pick the Decepticons, there's only a few of them already. You just want to get Soundwave and maybe Starscream. They're going to be vastly outnumbered on your shelf if you have a lot of the tyrannical Autobots. In the same vein, should you just get one side over the other? I mean, obviously, if you're a big fan of the Decepticons, you can get them. But if you ask me, the better figures are actually the tyrannical Autobots. They've got some fantastic molds. I mean, Goldbug alone, Delta Magnus, Optimus Prime. I mean, you can't beat those. Those are very, very good figures. And the Decepticons, you got Soundwave and Starscream, maybe as tops good figures. So if you're going to collect one side, I mean, which honestly does not make any sense, but you're trying to save money, you feel like you only need one side, I think you should go for the Autobots, because they've got more characters, they're just better molds than the Decepticons. The Decepticons desperately need some good molds. I mean, can we get Cyclonus? I mean, even though they're not part of the mythology, I mean, it's so easy for Hasbro to justify the Shattered Glass universe and re-release their molds. Can we get Cyclonus? Maybe more Seekers. I don't know, but it would be nice if we could get more heroic Decepticons. So, after all that's been said and done, is this line still worth picking up? Well, on the one hand, if you're really into the mythology, obviously, yes, it is. I love the new modern look, modern take on these characters. I think a majority of the figures are actually pretty okay. That, it's enough to justify picking the substandard figures just to complete the line. But on the other hand, like I said, a very, very niche type of mythology. It's not for everybody. And if you're not really into this continuity, I'd say just skip this line, because the prices of some of these figures are just bordering on crazy exclusive prices, which is ridiculous. Some of the figures are already on clearance because nobody wants them, but if you're the completist, you're trying to get everybody, it's going to be very, very difficult, and it's going to be very, very costly. So unless you're really, really into it and you've given the designs, the figures a second look, I would say stay away from this. But like I said, if you love this universe, man, this is a great line to collect. Now, if you're trying to decide whether you're into this line or not, and you want to start the collection, my suggestion is get Optimus Prime and Megatron first. I mean, obviously, the two leaders. If you can get these two figures for a good price, obviously Optimus Prime comes with Ratchet. If you can get that select set, and then Megatron is a single pack. If you can get him and maybe Soundwave, and you still like the line, you're still okay with it, then that's a good starting point. That's a good sign that you should start maybe getting Delta Magnus. Maybe you should get Skyfire or Jetfire, and Goldbug, and then maybe you can move down the line and just get the others on clearance or something like Flame War and Fireglide, Blur. To a certain extent, this guy, it's a 2-pack that I think some stores are already put on clearance. So just make your way through first the major figures, the major characters, important ones, and then move your way down to the less important ones. I mean, if you've gone past Soundwave, Starscream, and Delta Magnus, then sure, then you're probably into this line. But if after picking up Optimus Prime and Megatron, and you're not convinced, I would suggest you just stay away from this line. So that's my quick and dirty discussion of the modern generations or modern figures for the Shattered Glass universe of the Transformers. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is it something that's still worth collecting? Given all that we've seen and what Hasbro has in the pipeline, you think it's still worth getting? The prices, inflation, and all that. Let me know. Which one's your favorite Shattered Glass figures? Are you Team Tyrannical Autobots, or are you Team Heroic Decepticons? Let me know in the comments. As always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.